Birmingham. Today is Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. The time is 9:33. I call to order the regular meeting of the Birmingham City Council. This morning's invocation will be led by Bishop Dwayne Morris, pastor of the Greater Works Church, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilor LaTanya Tate. If you're willing and able, please stand and join us. Morning, Pastor.
Good morning. I'd like to say good morning to the council president, the members of the council as well. If you would bow your heads with me for a word of prayer. Father, we thank you this morning for this day that you've allowed us to awake. We thank you, Lord, for your grace, your mercy. Father, we ask you to bless the council as they meet on this morning. You said, acknowledge you in all our ways, and God, we're acknowledging you by coming before you in prayer. And Father, we ask you to bless and guide the council to make the correct decisions on today that will benefit the people of Birmingham. We ask you, Lord, to bless those that came in the audience as well. We ask you, Lord, to bless those that may have come with burdens and things they may not know how they're going to make it through. We ask you, God, to give them peace that surpasses all understanding. And we thank you, God, in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And I'd like to wish all the fathers an early happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much, Bishop Morris. And I join him in early Happy Father's Day to all of our fathers across the city and present today. At this time, good morning, Mr. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Good morning. Councilmember Abbott.
Present.
Councilmember Clark.
Present.
Councilmember Moore. Councilmember O'Quinn. Good morning. Good morning. Councilmember Tate. Good morning. Good morning. Councilmember Williams. Good morning. Councilmember Woods. President Pro Tem Smitherman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council President Alexander.
Present. At this time, councilors, I would like to ask for a motion and a second for approval of the minutes from the previous meetings of March 7th, March 14th, March 21st, and March 28th, 2023.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Thank you. Those minutes are approved. The minutes are not ready from the meetings of April 4th, 2023 through June 6th, 2023. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning to the council, as well as good morning to the public. A few notes, Madam President and Council. City offices will close early this Friday, and City Hall and our offices will be closed all day on Monday. In observance of Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday, the City of Birmingham offices will close at 2 p.m. this Friday and all day Monday, June 19th, with the exception for police, fire, and 911. I imagine it's our collective desire as leaders in the community for citizens in our city to reflect upon the freedoms African Americans were granted in 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. A note about Birmingham Stallions. If you did not know, congratulations to our defending champions. The Birmingham Stallions have made the USFL playoffs for the South Division. They will take on the Showboats in Memphis on Saturday at 3 p.m. But for those who need more detail, please go to theusfl.com. Again, that's theusfl.com. But be sure to support our home team this Saturday at 3 p.m. Steel City Smooth Jazz Festival will take place this Friday and Saturday at Lynn Park. That's June 16th and 17th. The lineup includes legendary Stephanie Mills, other legends in the making, existing legends. I'm gonna scratch the legends in the making part. Anthony Hamilton, Stokely, Raheem Devon, and Birmingham's own Kim Scott. And Short 20th will be closed starting this Wednesday, which is tomorrow at 5 p.m. so organizers can begin to set up the festival. For more information about performers and and tickets, please visit steelcityjazzfest.org. Again, that's steelcityjazzfest.org. Continuing with the theme of this weekend, the Birmingham Museum of Artists will host an African Heritage Festival. They're hosting an African Festival this Saturday, June 17th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's their desire to celebrate the rich and diverse heritage of African cultures and the museum's exceptional African art galleries. This is a family-friendly festival, and it includes immersive experiences, captivating performances, delicious cuisine, and hands-on activities for all ages. For those who want and need more information, please visit artsbma.org. Again, that's artsbma.org. Two more notes, Madam President and Council. Updates regarding the trash pickup. The City of Birmingham will continue to keep residents informed about all bulk trash with daily updates online at birminghamal.gov/bulk trash. And as a reminder for those residents using the new carts, you should place them in front of your homes. Any household garbage placed on the ground, in alleys, or on the ground in front of your residence will not be picked up. And you can receive more updates by going to birminghamal.gov/pickup or by texting BM Ready to 888-777. And as a last note, I think I heard the pastor say this, but I want to wish Clinton Woods, Darrell O'Quinn, and all the other men in our city a happy Father's Day. Thank you, Madam President and Council.
Thank you, Mayor Whitman. We appreciate those announcements. At this time, councilors, without objection, I'd like to suspend the rules and allow us to have our presentations this morning. Before we begin, I do want to extend a warm welcome. We do have several interns that will be working with us within the Birmingham City Council and among staff this summer, and we're very excited to have them with us. It just shows they're not going to be playing this summer. They're going to be working and learning more about city government and helping us to serve our residents throughout each of the offices that they'll be working in. So if you're present, I would like you to stand. So we extend a warm welcome to our interns, Ms. Lauren Evans, Mr. Jaden Hunter, Mr. Eric Turner, Mr. Taylor Carnley, and that's Miss Taylor, I'm sorry, Taylor, Ms. Taylor Carnley, and Mr. Calvin Cullen. Let's give them all a great round of applause. Our interns are matriculating across the United States. We have some from Alabama State, Tennessee State, and so we're just very excited to have them with us, and so we're enjoying working with you this summer. Thank you. At this time, councilors, we will turn our attention to our meeting presentations, and we'll begin with Councilor Pro Tem Smitherman, who has a resolution celebrating Ted's Restaurant on their 50th anniversary. Gotcha.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
So today we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Ted's Restaurant. I don't know many of you have been to Ted's Restaurant, but they know I'm in there at least once a week. But it's one of my favorite meat and three restaurants, and so I think it's amazing that you guys have been around this long, and the fact that you guys were able to recover during the pandemic. I know we lost a lot of restaurants and businesses, but you guys were able to bounce back, and that's to be commemorated. So I have a resolution for you guys. I'm not going to read all of it. But whereas it is the sense of this legislative body to recognize culinary establishments which have positively impacted and contributed to their communities, attended to such concern in full accord with its longstanding traditions, the Council of the City of Birmingham is justly proud to congratulate you all of celebrating its 50th anniversary in the food service industry and operating Ted's Restaurant. Whereas Ted, affectionately known to many as Mr. Ted, was born in Greece in 1930 and moved to Birmingham in 1955. In 1960, he became the sole owner of the Old Hickory restaurant. 13 years later, he named it Ted's and moved it to his current location. Old Hickory Restaurant, Ted's, held its grand opening on June 11, 1973. Eventually, Ted decided it was time for the next chapter in his life and that it was time to hang up his apron. As fate would have it, Ted crossed paths with Tassos and Biba in 2000 while planning his 70th birthday party. Eventually, they would come to own the restaurant, and today, 5 decades later, Ted's restaurant is still serving food on a menu very similar to the one before. Whereas the secret behind 50 years of success at Ted's is attributed to their dedication of providing exceptional service to its customers and taking great pride in their commitment to giving back to the community through several ministries and organizations where countless citizens have benefited from their deeds. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor Randall L. Woodfin concurring, pauses in its deliberations to acknowledge the success and acclaim of Ted's Restaurant and recognize and congratulate you all for your many contributions to the communities you serve. Presented this 13th day of June 2023 at the recommendation of Council President Pro Tem Crystal Smitherman. So I don't know if you guys want to say a few words, but go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a very great honor for me and my wife and Mr. Ted and Miss Litza and Margaret, the daughter, to continue the institution that he established so many years ago. And the secret to our survival and our success is the people in Birmingham, that they've been supportive in the good times and the bad times. We survived 2 recessions and, of course, the pandemic. But we're striving in getting to know everybody and be a good family, an extended family. And thank you, and we will continue with your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I know you guys are selling shirts this week as well?
Right. If I may, my wife commissioned a local artist, forgot the name, Eric, and he designed this poster. Maybe we'll find somewhere a place in the city to dedicate.
Yes.
It's 50 years in the heart of Birmingham.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, councilors and Mayor Woodfin, I guess we're going to have to go to lunch one day this week at Ted's. So,
By all means, because you all have a free membership this week. Mayor.
yeah, you can announce. Yes.
Mrs. Abbott.
Thank you so much, everybody, but I just want to say we are so blessed and so thankful, and we have been so blessed. So we are giving back this week to 3 organizations in Birmingham, all of our dessert sales. So come have a pie, and everything's going towards 3 organizations. Eli Thrive, they support the Eastlake community. ACE Ministries supports cancer, families with fighting cancer, and Blanket Fort Hope, who is building a home to with rescued sexual trafficked children. So we wanted to give back, and that's our way of trying to show support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Abbott.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to. Okay. What I wanted to say is y'all have given credit to all kinds of things for your success. You forgot to mention the food. And the food is, I love y'all. Y'all are cute. All your clients are nice. But your food is the reason people keep coming to Ted's. As long as you keep making delicious food, and especially your Brussels sprouts, which I know a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts, but if they come to your restaurant, they will start to like them. So I just want to say that thank you for being the wonderful people you are, and you do give back to the community. It's just amazing all the things that y'all do. But your food is the reason that you are a success. I just want to remind you of that.
I second that.
Thank you so much for killing my dream, because I was in the illusion everybody was coming to see me because I'm so good looking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I move the item for unanimous
Oh,
consent.
sorry, second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Move the resolution, or so move.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call forward Mr. George A. Smith, who is the chairman of the Alpha Psi chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and they're going to introduce a gentleman with him who will also introduce, and they would like to bring us information regarding a community health and resource fair and the Dr. Charles Drew blood drive that they will be presenting. Good morning.
Good morning. And good morning to Mr. Mayor, the City Council, and all of the staff of the City of Birmingham. I have with me Darrell Beasley. He's the Assistant Chairman of the Health Fair. So on June 24th, which is a Saturday, from 10 to 2 at Legion Field, we will have a health fair, resource fair, and blood drive. Now, the most important part of this is that it's free to the public. We didn't charge the vendors anything, and we just, this is our way, one of our cardinal principles is uplift, and this is our way of giving stuff back to the city of Birmingham. Now, the Alpha Phi chapter has been in existence for 99 years in the city of Birmingham. So, our health fair, resource fair is more than just a health fair. Under the resource portion, we have members of the City of Birmingham giving information about what the City of Birmingham offers. We got the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. We have the City of Birmingham Police Department. We have the Fire and Rescue Department, as well as many, many other people that will do screenings and give information about the city. We also have an organization we partner with, which is going to talk about diabetes and free food in the city of Birmingham. So we're going to be giving away free food at this event. Of course, while it lasts. But we encourage the city of Birmingham to support us. It's at Legion Field from 10 to 2. At Legion Field, Lot J on the Graymont office, on the Graymont side of Legion Field. So we have a flyer, which is here. We really want the city to get behind us, distribute the information to the 99 neighborhoods, and to help us make this a success. Like I said, we didn't charge anybody any money, and what we want to do is, this is the inaugural. We want to have this event every year in the city of Birmingham. Are there any questions?
Well, I just want to say thank you for bringing this information to us. We certainly, I believe, each counselor will help to distribute this information because it's so important to us. June, among many other things, is a lot of national health observances are during the month of June, including Alzheimer's disease, sickle cell disease, and HIV testing. And so I know that the more we can get information to our public about health and wellness and the resources that you will be presenting there, we're very excited. I don't think they heard you, but tell them again, how many years has this chapter been serving the
This chapter
community?
has been serving the city of Birmingham for 99 years. We will celebrate 100 years next year. We were established in 1924. So
Thank you.
thank you again. And the items that you mentioned, all of those will be represented at our fair.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So thank you once again.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you today. Thank you. But at this time, councilors, we'll turn back to our agenda. And Mr. Clerk, if you will read the items that are considered for consent.
Yes, ma'am. Our consent agenda starts today on page 2 with item 1. And on page 3, we have items 4, 5, and 6 on consent. Please note that items 4 and 5 were recommended by Budget and Finance. Also, on item number 5, we're going to change the GL code to 001-000-004-280-04-281 .527-014. That's for item 5. Then we pick back up with the consent agenda on page 4 with items 7 and 8. Page 5, we have items 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 on consent. Items 9 and 10 were recommended by Budget and Finance. Page 6, we have items 14, 15, 17, 18, and 19 on consent. Item number 16 is being requested to be withdrawn. Page 7, we have items 20, 23, and 24 on consent. Page 8, we have items 25, 26, 27, and 28 on the consent agenda. Page 9, items 29, 30, 31, and 32 are on consent. Page 10, items 34, 30, 33, 34, and 35 are on consent. Page 11, we have items 36, 37, 38, and 39 on consent, and item 39 has a corrected resolution that you should have. Page 12, we have items 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45 on consent. And on page 13, we have item number 46 on consent, and that concludes the consent agenda. We have one addendum item.
All right, thank you. Councilors, at this time, are there any items you'd like to have added or removed from consent? Council Williams?
Can we take off 6, please, on page 3?
The request is to take off item number 6 on page 3. Thank you. Any other items, councilors? Yes, Councilor O'Quinn?
Whatever number the addendum item is, if we
49.
could add that add item 49 to consent.
Right, the request is to add item number 49, the addendum item, to consent. Any other items? Yes, Councilor Clark. Good morning.
I just had a quick question about item number 25, and that's whether we mean to have this recommended by community development. If so, operationally, why are they involved in the demolition of non-residential structures? I'm just trying to understand
Chief?
operations.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President.
Yes, Chief.
That's an area. It should be recommended by PEP.
Okay.
All right, that correction is remove the recommendation by community development, and that would be inserted PEP. Thank you. Good question. Thank you. Any other items, councilors? And I just also want to draw attention to item number 10. In B&F yesterday on page 5, we did have some wording that need to be changed, and so this is reflective of the corrected wording. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so request. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation, and they're indicated with a P, will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Councilors, at this time, can I entertain a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda?
I move for approval.
Favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, thank you. The items from consent have been approved. If you're here for an item that was listed as consent, it has been approved, and we'll continue with the rest of our agenda, and we'll hope you have a great day. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
All right, item 2, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute for and as the act of said city, and amendment number 3 to contract for sale of real estate with Raymar Land Corporation, under which the contract for sale of real estate originally entered into between the city and RLR Investments, LLC, dated October the 4th, 2022, as amended January the 16th, 2023, and April the 4th, 2023, which was assigned to Remodel Land Corporation for the sale of approximately 67.4 acres of property located in the Daniel Payne Industrial Park for an estimated total purchase price of $3,707,000, will be further amended to extend the inspection period to September 30th, 2023. This is first reading. I need UC to pass today.
I move for UC.
And all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion on the item.
Move the item.
Item is before you.
All right, thank you, councilors. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute the sale of property. Any questions regarding this item? Madam Pro Tem?
Just one question, if there was a reason why it didn't go to Budget and Finance, or if it needed to go to Budget and Finance?
I'll let Attorney Jim Stanley come to the mic.
Okay.
Good morning, the committee,
morning.
the council. Jim Stanley, for Office of City Attorney. There was time sensitivity to this. There were some delays, and they're trying to get site plan approval. And there were delays in the neighborhood association process. Their due diligence period expires on the 15th. They've been extremely cautious about remaining within timelines. So it was just last week that we determined that they were going to need additional time to get through the neighborhood process, and that's why we came straight to council for this. They didn't want to run the risk of passing the June 15th deadline.
Okay, it's just, we just had a meeting yesterday, that's why I asked, but if Hunter's committee, recommended it, then I'm sure I'm fine with it if the rest of the committee is. Thank you.
Questions? Yes, Council Clark?
I was just wondering, did we consider this in the administration committee? I don't remember. I know we had a lot of items.
This amendment was not even on the radar. It literally came on the radar late last week when they determined that they needed more time to get through the processes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Stanley. We're ready for the vote.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Item 2 passes. Thank you. Next item.
Should be item 3, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to execute for is the act of said city and amended and restated redevelopment agreement with 2301 Inslee LP, under which 2301 Inslee LP will redevelop property known as the former Inslee High School, located at 2301 Avenue J, Birmingham, for a mixed-use development, and the city shall convey the property to 2301 Inslee LP for the price of $50,000, which the city has determined to be the use value of the property as defined in the Code of Alabama 1975, Section 24-2-6A, and acknowledging that the redeveloper has satisfied milestone 1 of subsection 3B of the original agreement, such that $1 million from the city's grant of up to $1,500,000 has been earned by the redeveloper for completing the blight removal, and authorizing and further providing certain incentives in the form of a city grant of up to $500,000 in connection with the completion of the project, and that providing the city grant will promote the economic development of the city, constitutes a public purpose, and is authorized by, consistent with, and furtherance of objectives of amendment number 772. And again, this item is one of permanent operation. I need UC to pass today.
I move for UC.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Move the item.
The item is before you.
All right, thank you, councilors. This is a resolution authorizing and empowering the mayor to execute. Authorizing the mayor to execute an amended and restated redevelopment agreement, and this is for the former Inslee High School development. Any questions regarding this item? It was approved yesterday in Budget and Finance. Yes, Councilor Clark?
Just very interested and excited. Would like a quick update if someone could provide that on the status, because it was on hold for a while then.
Okay, we'll have Attorney Keith Sheffield to come in, then we'll get somebody from the team of IEL to explain the project.
Good morning, Attorney Sheffield.
Good morning, Keith Sheffield. I serve as Assistant City Attorney at the OCA. I actually brought some redlined agreements for your review since that was asked for yesterday. Budget and Finance. Basically, what is before you is an amended and restated redevelopment agreement for the property at Inslee, former Inslee High School. Basically, what we're doing here is just extending the time periods for performance for the redeveloper. Part of the redevelopment agreement process here was applying for funding from Alabama HFA, a grant to assist in the redevelopment. And because of COVID, that agency had not been releasing funds for the last couple of years. So it really kind of slowed, plus the fact with supply chain issues, the whole redevelopment process kind of bogged down. So during that period, though, the redeveloper was able to go ahead and do the remediation that was required by the agreement for the property. So that's been done. So this is basically extending the deadlines in order for them to apply in this next cycle of funding, as well as acknowledging the fact that of the $1.5 million incentive that the city provided to the redeveloper, $1 million of that went to remediation, which has been paid and has been performed. So that's basically what this agreement is, where this is at right now. We really needed to get this agreement in place in order for the redeveloper to apply for this cycle of funding this year.
Councilor Clark.
Is the redevelopment plan significantly the same, or have they altered the, what they propose to build on the site significantly because of the financing delays and issues?
Well, I would like if someone from IEO would.
Madam President.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll let Mr. Corey Hauser speak to that.
Good morning, Mr. Hauser.
Yeah, but from the meeting yesterday, everything is pretty much the same.
Good morning. I don't know if you heard, the question was regarding the
Site plan.
the site completion, or where we are from what was originally approved and what we're talking about now.
Yeah, so good morning, Corey Hauser, serve as Deputy
Bring your
Director
mic
for.
up. Bring your
Move it
mic
up.
up.
That's good, better. All right. For Department of Innovation and Economic Opportunity. The site plan is essentially the same. They are considering some difference in parking as they sort of went through the demolition and sort of plans to make sure they can fit it within their financing. So the site plan itself is essentially the same. The most important part is the financing for AHFA, which stopped the application last year, and so they're having to come back and now do it again this year. So that's the only thing that's changing in this restated development, is that they need basically ownership of land in order to make that application. So nothing about the site plan is changing itself.
May I? And so the developer is no longer Zimmerman, but a related entity to Zimmerman. Some of the people who were in that group are going to pursue the project.
Right. So Zimmerman Properties actually created 2301 Inslee LP.
Okay.
So it's that entity, but they made it a Birmingham entity versus being, wherever they're headquartered at. So
Okay.
it's still the same team. They created an organization specifically for this project, though, because this is also a partnership with HABD as well. So they're doing some housing things with HABD as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Madam President. So if this is a Birmingham entity, why is it incorporated in Missouri?
Well, that's what they chose to incorporate, but I know that they put some Birmingham agencies and sort of resources, particularly from Birmingham. So even though they're head or limited liability company in another state, the team that they put together is consisted of Birmingham-based companies.
Okay. And then how much of the $1.5 million has been given to, I guess it would originally have been given to Zimmerman Properties of North Carolina?
Well, so 2301 Inslee received the $1 million that was approved by council about a year and a half ago. That was for the demolition of the actual site. The second phase of the project was the $500,000, which is what we're at today. But in order for them to apply for that AHFA and move into second phase, they need the conveyance of the land to do that. So we have not released the 500,000, only the 1 million, which was originally approved in the agreement by council.
So the million went to 2301 Inslee and not to Zimmerman?
I will double check that to make sure, but I'm almost positive that they changed that before a payment was made, but I'll just need to double check that, and I can check that for you and confirm that to make sure.
And when did this originally, I know that it went, I'm sure it did, but do you know when it originally went before economic development?
I don't have that date. It's been some time.
Madam President.
Yes, Chief.
We'll have to check that because I think it was done before the changes in the council structure. But we'll double check that to make sure.
If I may, I believe my predecessor was the chair of economic development when this project came.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like it.
It was, I believe it was Councilor Hilliard that was over economic development at the time. But yes, the counselor for District 8 was very
Concerned
verbal
about
and
it.
concerned about it. Yes.
That is correct.
So, okay, so I'm confused now because we're changing the name of the LLC, but we already gave $1 million to the LLC that we're now changing the contract?
So what's before you today is just a restated agreement, not for the name change. It's only for them to advance into phase 2 of the project. The way the original agreement was written is that the city would retain ownership of the property, which then disqualifies them from applying for the AHFA program. But they need that program in connection with HABD to make the mixed-use housing available. So we're not changing the name at all. This 2301 will stay the same as it was when they changed it. The only thing that's changing in here is moving them to phase 2 so that they can apply for this program through the state and then partnership with HABD to do the mixed-use housing that they submitted in the site plan.
Okay, so then if the name remains 2301, why are we changing it today to 2301? Why are we changing the agreement today from Zimmerman to 2301 if it remains 2301?
It's not being changed today to 2301.
Council, that's not the change.
It is on my copy. I'm just confused of where the money's going. But I mean, I can abstain, but I'm not going to vote for something where I don't understand where the money's coming from.
Hold on one second. Let me just be sure. We don't have any other counselors that want to ask a question? Okay, go ahead, Councilor Clark.
I just wanted to note that it's not uncommon for a developer to create an LLC for each development so that it limits the liability back to that company. So I was thinking it was a different developer, but he's saying it's just the entity they've chosen for this development.
Understood, but he also said we already sent $1 million check to 2301 Inslee before we had the contract with them. He said, that check should have gone to Zimmerman Properties. So I'm confused about the order with the money, and I understand that, anyway, we don't need a crosstalk, but.
That's okay. I just want to be sure there's clarity. Would you just restate what you're bringing before us and the timeline associated with it?
Right. I'll confirm the name change and where the payment went. I'll make sure I do that. But what's before you today is that 2301 Inslee LP needs to advance to phase 2 of the original agreement. Unfortunately, the way that the original agreement was written, that the city would retain the ownership of the property until the end of the project. They need to have ownership, which is why this conveyance is before you, of the property in order to apply for the AHFA program through the state and HABD. If they do not have that this particular restated agreement, they cannot apply for that program, which then puts the project itself in jeopardy. So I can verify the actual payment and when that name change came out, but it's been a while since we've done that. So I just don't have that date in front of me, but I'm more than happy to come back and make sure I clarify that.
Madam President.
Yes, Chief.
Just doing a little research, I looked back on August 31st, 2021, It was before the council. They had a redevelopment agreement between Zimmerman Properties and 2301 Inslee as a limited partnership. Under 2301 Inslee will redevelop the property known as the former Inslee High School, located at 2301 Avenue J.
Okay, so then do we have a transparency form for 2301?
Wow.
Let me ask if we could get that information. Will we be able to get that, Chief? Okay. Do you have to see that in order to make your vote, or would you like for us to table this so they could bring that item to you?
I think that I can see how the room's will vote. I'll just abstain.
We'll be sure to get that information to Councilor Williams. Councilors, any other questions? We're ready for the vote.
Be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
One abstention.
One abstention.
All right, thank you. Item number 3 passes. Next item.
1 second. Before we move to item number 6, please note that item 26 that was on consent should have been also recommended by PEP and not Community Development. That's item 26. All right, so item 6 is next. A resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute for and as the act of said city a First Amendment to the Public Transportation Services Agreement with the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority, under which the Public Transportation Services Agreement between the city and BJCTA dated February the 7th, 2023, pursuant to which BJCTA agreed to provide public transportation services, including fixed route and demand response services and bus rapid transit services, and the city agreed to provide a total of $11 million in funding for such services will be amended to provide that the city will contribute $300,000 in additional funding in support of BJCTA's operation and management of the BRT.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you. Councilor Williams, you asked this item be moved forward for
Yeah,
consent.
what are we doing here?
Madam President,
Yes, Chief.
it's a lovely day.
Well, it is a great day.
So, Counselor, what's before the council right now is a agreement to amend the current agreement between the city of Birmingham and the Transit Authority. The amendment that is before you increased their allotment from $1 million to $1.3 million in support of the BRT system. If you recall, a gentleman approached the council one day and pretty much outlined a deficiency that the BJCTA had when it came to the collection of funds on certain routes. The gentleman noted that if he was to get on a BRT route, he would get a ticket, but once he made it to the central station to do a transfer point, he would have to pay another fee to run the fixed line. So and I'll actually bring up the leadership of the BJCTA to explain the reasoning behind it, but in support with the collaboration with Councilor O'Quinn, we felt that it was important that the city will supplement a cost that was pushed down upon the citizen for the BRT line to make it free for the next couple of days, or almost the next couple of months, until they get their operational gap fixed with the ridership app that they're now implementing. So this funding is just to supplement that one cost so it does not affect any ridership. So they will be able to ride the BRT line for free until they get to the actual fixed route where they will pay that cost of the fixed route.
And Madam President, before and if any,
Yes, Mayor Wilson.
You can't read it.
I guess visitors come and speak, is it okay if Chairman Dr. Darrell O'Quinn provides some further context?
Yes, thank you. Dr. O'Quinn.
Thank you, Madam President. So just for clarification, the additional funding would cover the expense of eliminating fares on the BRT route, or what we call the Birmingham Express, for the next several months. The BJCTA is in the process of developing a unified payment system that'll be app-based. They're anticipating that they will have that operational by October or November of this year. That app would allow persons to do route planning so that they could enter their current location and their destination, and the app would give them route planning options and allow them to pay the various fees all in one place. So this is a temporary measure to eliminate that problem of having a fare for the fixed route max bus system and another fare for the BRT system. You would, with this, if this passes today, this additional funding would, in cooperation with the BJCTA, allow for the fares to be eliminated on the express so that folks could, just step on it and ride it. We'll say that the express is the highest performing route in the entire system. The May numbers for ridership on the express are well over 10,000 trips. When the express was first launched, it was also higher performing, but when the fares were implemented, that ridership fell off. So we're anticipating that as a side benefit of this temporary fare elimination, that we'll see ridership pick back up, and it'll be for an extended period, October or November of this year, when fares will be re-implemented. But that extended period will give folks another opportunity to try out the express and perhaps integrate that into their mobility options into the future.
Thank you, Dr. Quinn. Yes, thank you. Councilor Williams, I know you had other questions. Was that enough of a synopsis, or do we need to bring the BJCTA staff?
Yeah, so I guess, and they can answer, but I guess my question is, how long does $300,000 equal no fares on the BRT?
All right, thank you. We have Director Shaw, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity, actually. This is a actual operational game changer for us. And after we calculated the numbers, we can actually, and really the BRT probably should have been free the first year. But because of BJCTA's budget, we were not able to do that. And so this can take us out between 9 and 10 months, which gives us a great opportunity to implement this new app that Councilor O'Quinn talked about. And it's going to take us between 8 and 9 months to get the app actually implemented.
So I guess the BRT only needs approximately $33,000 in revenue from fares to be operational flat for you guys? No.
You mean per month?
Yes, per month.
Roughly, right? So this could take us out 10 months. And so this application, because it's custom for what we need to bring all of the integrations, the BRT, the fixed route, and then we just started our microtransit mode and via all online under one app. That could take between 10 and 11 months. So these free fares will go for the next 10 to 11 months,
So I guess my
which
question,
will cover the $300,000.
okay, so my question is this. If it's only $33,000 a month in fares that are needed to operate it, and then the operation, or three and change, and then the operations drastically, the ridership drastically increases with free fares, why would we just not have it free all year long?
It would be about that time frame. it would be at least 10 to 11 months while the fares are complimentary, right? Anything beyond that, then we'd have to ask for or request fares
So I guess my question is, why would we not do this in perpetuity
for the duration of
of BRT?
the BJCTA won't, their budget won't allow that in perpetuity. We can only allow that because the city of Birmingham, you all are graciously giving us the $300,000 to cover us for the next 11 months. Anything beyond that, to continue the services that we provide, we'd have to have a budget for it. And the fares is part of, we get about $2 million from our fares. Now I'm looking to increase that to help us with our services. But we just cannot afford it under the BJCTA budget not to allow fare collection.
So you get $2 million for express?
That's fixed route.
Or all?
Just fixed route.
All fixed route.
It's really about 1.3 million due to COVID.
So all fixed route is about $1.3 million in fares?
It went down because of COVID, and it hasn't. So the ridership is increasing, and the reason this is so important and so wonderful with this opportunity, it allows us not only to work on an app that will integrate all of the modes of services together, but it also gives us an opportunity to advertise how these new modes of transportation work, and especially the BRT, because we never really got an opportunity because we launched within one day, and so we never really got an opportunity to educate the public and our riders on how to ride the BRT. And so now that we can take the fares out of the equation, we can now educate, we can now integrate, and we can build our technology into today's world.
Okay, and that will interface with VIA or y'all's version?
Absolutely. It's
y'all's
going to,
version?
anything moving in transit, that application, you're going to be able to pick it up on your mobile phone, and you can order a $1.50 ride all the way to our microtransit services that will take you to the airport for $60 if you're living in anywhere in Jefferson County. So the things that we have, well, it depends on if you're going to the airport and you live outside of the Jefferson County area, we're going to be able to service that because we're introducing, and I didn't want to talk about that today, but just to give you an idea of what we're doing, we're introducing what's called the executive services, microtransit executive services, which will work kind of like Uber, and it's going to be part of that application. And so not only will you be able to get a public ride, but you can also get a private on-demand ride that will all be a part of one application.
So one thing that I really want to see this metro area move towards is microtransit. And I think that the Birmingham Express that we have is a great use of buses. And then I think that the rest of the fixed routes, depending on the routes, leave a lot to be desired for the users. I think that, just yesterday I was driving by a fixed route on my way to lunch. A lady was sitting out in the sun. I was returning from lunch a long time later, and she's still sitting out in the sun. And so I think that, when you look at other metro areas that have gone to microtransit, and it's been successful and it's been cheaper to operate than an actual bus system, then the residents or the end users are the real winners in that. And I really hope that we can get to somewhere. We've seen VIA be extremely successful when the cities tried it out, but I really hope that we can get there on a metro area, on a county, and I'm not talking about the executive service. I'm talking about a replacement for a lot of our fixed routes that are outside of the BRT system. So anyway.
Well, Councilor Williams, let me mention to you, we just made some changes because of the BRT, and it's doing exactly what it was intended to do. And we just changed some routes with connectivity, and VIA is covering those routes along with our No Rider Left Behind, which is our own microtransit. And so we are moving toward microtransit to where it makes sense. And I don't know the particular case that you're talking about, but we have a No Rider Left Behind program that we're running and that has been advertised, where we don't leave people for extended period of times on bus stops. And so they have a number that they can call, and we're moving toward today's technology and toward today's microtransit with our fixed route services, because we don't want to eliminate fixed route services or BRT, because that's how we get our money from the federal government through FTA. And so the important thing is that it all connects and works together. That's how metropolitan cities work, that the fixed route and the BRT also works with the microtransit, because it's a lot easier to scale up than it is to scale down. And so you need the modes of transportation to integrate and work together, very integral, so that you won't have people sitting on the side in the sun. And if that's a case that happened, I'd like to know about it, because right now we're not running into those kinds of problems. Because I ensure the public that if they're on a bus stop, they will get to their location. And we reduce routes from 1 hour to 45 minutes and 25 minutes in some of those cases where we just change that connectivity. So we're getting there, but it's a process, and this $300,000 changed the game for us to help us get closer to this process. And I assure you that with me under that leadership, we're going to move toward today's technology.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Williams. Councilor Woods, and then Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to follow up on a question in regard to 300,000. If we provided 300,000 each year, we'll be able to remove fares from BRT?
Absolutely could. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Councilor Pro Tem.
So I just want to clarify, because in Budget and Finance, the $300,000 was to go to October, November, and now it's supposed to go to a year?
When we did the numbers, Council Smitherman, we can go to at least 10 to 11 months.
Okay. Well, Councilor Quinn.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to chip in and say the way that we got to $300,000 was just looking at current ridership.
Yeah.
So you multiply $1.50 times the current ridership times 12, and that gets you right around $300,000.
That's right.
So in theory, yeah, $300,000 should get you 12 months.
Okay, because it was conflicting information, because, the committee was told one thing and then we're being told something differently. And it matters when we tell our residents, like, hey, you have free rides on the BRT, which a lot of them are in Titusville and West End, so we can really encourage more people to ride it. What are we doing for advertisement-wise? Because I didn't know a couple of things that you're talking about with transit.
We advertise through our social media campaigns, across our website, through radio stations, various radio stations, the media, and through all the social media platforms. And so, and information that we give out to our riders at various transit centers and Central Station.
Okay. Councilor Quinn, I asked them for the stats for BRT, for example. Can you send us that information when you get it? Because I'm always curious to see if we've improved ridership or has it decreased. I'm really very interested in that, because I'm asked that a lot.
Can we get it for all?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
fixed route?
Yeah, all fixed routes, so all the stats. I guess ironically, my mom always asked me what's on the council agenda every morning, and I think that's just out of habit of her, but she used to ride the bus when she was younger, and so I kind of asked her, and she used to ride when she was going to law school, why she doesn't now, or why certain people don't, and I still don't think we've improved that perception of riding on the bus. So I'm hoping to see in the future about how we can help you all, how we can get that going. A lot of young people, college students, we just had a meeting with UAB to see how we can improve it.
Yeah, and that's very important. We have various programs that we're going to be running in the very near future to help with that perception. And I think it's just, and BRT is helping with that perception. Believe it or not, we have some riders who are not reliant on transportation who are riding BRT. So I think over time, that will change. We just launched the BRT less than a year ago, and so we're moving toward these changes, but because there has been some challenges in the past, that is going to take some time, but I really do believe we're moving toward a different transportation system, which you will be very proud of in the near future.
Okay.
And this application is going to help us with that.
And I don't know if this is really a question for you or maybe Councilor Quinn as part of transportation. I want to know how much will it cost to try to get us more bus stops, not bus stops, but more shelters at the bus stops. Because, for example, what Councilor Williams was saying about the lady in the hot sun for hours, I think that will help out a lot of people as well.
And we have a price for that, and we can discuss that further as well. And there are also requirements around bus stops that we have to, because we are regulatory by the FTA, it has to have so many riders at that location. And so, but there are things that we can do that we would be more than happy to implement. We are designing new bus stops now and new bus stations, but again, that's going to take additional budgeting to help implement those things in the various neighborhoods.
Okay, I don't know if that's something we can help or, budget talks for next year. If we can wait that long, hopefully we can discuss that with you in the mayor's office soon.
And I just want to say I really do appreciate the city of Birmingham, your leadership, and your support. It is making an absolute difference in what we're doing at BJCTA. Chaz, thank you so much for all of your input and your support, and Mayor Randall, we appreciate you as always, and you all are taking this company to the next level, and it's your support that's really helping me to do this.
Thank you.
I
I do
appreciate
want to
it.
thank Mayor Woodfin for, his kindness and consideration as a leader to pay for these free rides while we try to get this app together. So I
Absolutely.
think that's very commendable of you to be open to, for example, Councilor Quinn's concerns as well. So thank you, Mayor Woodfin and Chief Mitchell. All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Don't go yet. Councilor Tate and then Councilor Clark. Okay?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm just going to echo what Councilor Smitterman said. Thank you, Director Shaw. I appreciate your leadership, your team, and also to my colleague, Councilor Quinn, for being in close proximity, because
Yes.
I know he has a heart for transportation. But I'm like Councilor Smitterman, if you can get like us some one page or some fact sheets, like when we go to the neighborhood meetings, we can actually take them to the community to let people know that, these are the services that are available to you. I would more than be happy to, help distribute that information out, throughout District 9. But once again, thank you to your team. Thank you, Mayor Woodfin and Chief Mitchell for the hard work they're doing. And kudos to Council Quinn
Yes.
for being very
Council.
close proximity and to transportation.
And let us know, we're more than happy to attend any meetings with you and have those discussions with your constituents as well.
Thank you, Councilor Clark.
I just wanted to make a suggestion of a potential opportunity to increase ridership for an event. Rickwood Field will host the Savannah Bananas, and it draws about 9,000 people to a venue that has no parking or has very limited parking. And so I know they usually make some remote parking arrangements with Crossplex, and this year maybe Legion Field, but there might be an opportunity for people attending the game to ride the BRT because there is a stop nearby. So if they could park downtown, get on the BRT, and then walk to the stadium or something like that. There's a group called the Friends of Rickwood who run the event. And
What's the name of it again?
Friends of Rickwood. And Gerald Watkins is the president, and I can provide his phone number or something. He would be the point of contact if there was an opportunity to cross-promote.
Absolutely.
And this will be the second time that they've hosted it, and they may actually get some other large events. So being on the BRT line might be, there just might be a partnership there waiting to happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that information, because we are looking to get more involved in special events in the future.
Okay.
And this is one that we can look into and definitely start to work toward that. And Councilor O'Quinn, I'd like to personally thank you for all that you're doing for us and the leadership role that you're playing in transportation in this city, and to help encourage us to continue our efforts.
Thank you. I just want to reiterate the suggestion for providing us with the information, because the programs that you mentioned, they're very valuable, I think, to the residents who are, taking on your services. And we're in our neighborhood meetings every month, and so we would be a great conduit to put that message out for you. So if you all could get any information to Councilor Quinn and he can pass that to us, then we'll be happy to provide that. And when we talk about the additional bus shelters, I know it's something we could look at, but it's also an opportunity for each of our neighborhoods to also use some of their funds to help to help to get those into their neighborhoods. I think I saw where a few years ago a young student raised funds on his own, and he wasn't a resident of Birmingham, but he passed by and saw someone and helped through different types of activities to help to provide that for those residents. So we're thankful for that. When you talk about your mom riding the bus, yesterday on my way to lunch, I followed 45 Bessemer all the way into downtown, and I thought, why didn't I just hop on 45 Bessemer from home and ride it down there? So we all need to be thinking more about how we can use that type of mobility, and it would help save a little bit of the environment and save me a few dollars on my gas. It's time for me to get a new car, so I need to be getting on 45 Bessemer. So thank you all. Any other questions or comments? Everybody good? We're ready for the vote.
I just still can't believe that the city of Birmingham spent, along with $20 million from the feds, about $66 million on this BRT, and we're not just making it free for $300,000 a year. But anyway, in perpetuity.
Thank you. No other questions, comments? We're ready for the vote.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Thank you very much. That item 6 passes. Next item.
I think we're going to item 21. A resolution appointing one member to the Jefferson County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Authority for a term of 6 years, expiring April the 1st, 2029.
Second. All right, thank you, Councilor Tate. This item comes under the Public Safety Committee. If you want to announce the appointment of that member. We can't turn your mic on, sorry. That's okay.
A motion to nominate Ms. Eve M. Graham to the Jefferson County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Authority for a term of 6 years. And I move to close the nomination.
All right. Thank you. Did you get that name?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, thank you, and we welcome Ms. Graham to that authority. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Item 22, a resolution appointing one member to the Jefferson Blunt St. Clair Mental Health Authority for a term expiring March the 31st, 2025.
Second. All right, thank you, Councilor Tate. If you will give us the name of this particular appointee that you're recommending.
Yes, ma'am, Madam President. A motion to nominate Kanisha Horn to this Jefferson Blunt St. Clair County Mental Health Authority.
Second.
And move to close the nomination.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
All right,
say
thank
nay.
you. We welcome Ms. Horn. Item 22 passes, and we welcome the appointment of Ms. Horn to serve on this authority. Mr. Clerk, any other items?
Item 47 and 48, communications from my office, receiving the emergency purchase repair notice from purchasing agent relative to the roof leakage at the Brownsville Heights Community Center located at 9225 Airport Road, Birmingham. That's item 47. And item 48, receiving the emergency purchase notice from the purchasing agent relative to the landfill covers.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, councilors will entertain your comments and any announcements from your districts, and we'll start with, are you ready, Councilor Clark? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. I just had a question of Chaz Mitchell about emergency roof repairs, because I know that I still call it the Bruno Smithfield Center. I mean, we have people in there and it's leaking, but I don't know that that was being done on an emergency basis, or...
Madam President,
I'm just
Madam
curious.
President? Okay, just making sure. So yes, this has actually been on my radar as of this morning. So we have a team that's going to go out to look at it, especially due with the severe weather threat that's coming within the next couple hours. We're going to review it with HR to make sure that we're aligned and make sure that the public first is safe in that particular building with the conditions and us trying to get the roof repaired in a timely fashion.
Okay, thank you for that. And also just want to note that last night I was driving down Bush Boulevard and it was completely dark, so none of the street lights are working from Graymont to Border Street. And I don't know, after Border they were working, so it was a pretty long span that wasn't working. But I'll get to my announcements. Those things were just pressing for me.
Can you send that to us so we can get it to Alabama Power?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Want to congratulate the Omicron Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha and the Birmingham alumna chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi for hosting a very successful Westside Community Wellness Expo this past Saturday. We're grateful for these two historic Black Greek organizations that do great work in our community, and many of them are celebrating 100 years this year or next year, as we heard earlier from the Omegas. The well-attended event was both fun and informative, and the blood drive was hugely successful. Neighborhood meetings, we've got the Bellevue Heights neighborhood meeting tonight in person at Brown Elementary School. That's at 6:30. Also, the Flourish, which is a nonprofit organization that empowers youth of color through collaborative art, is hosting a block party celebrating Black fathers at the Inslee Rec Center on Saturday, June 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The event is free and will feature live music performances, food, fashion shows, and more. Everyone is invited to be outside. The ARPA Creative Industries Recovery Grant Program is live. Again, this is for creative industries. It's a program of Create Birmingham that is intended to provide direct financial assistance to creative ventures that were negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. 40 grants of $5,000 each will be awarded to City of Birmingham-based small businesses and nonprofits focused on creative industries. This includes culture and heritage, culinary arts, design, media and film, performing arts, and visual arts and crafts. You can go to createbirmingham.org to learn more and apply through June 30th. Also, this Saturday from 10 to 2, you can go to the Birmingham Museum of Art, which is celebrating the vibrant traditions of African cultures. And the museum's African art galleries will have a return of their African Heritage Festival sponsored by Medical Properties Trust with support by Blue Cross Blue Shield. This event will feature face painting, food tastings, dance demonstrations, and art activities. It's a free event and a good way for everyone to kick off their Juneteenth celebrations. And don't forget that each Thursday, weather permitting, we meet up at the Starbucks at the Crossplex at about 7:55 to do a 1.5-mile loop around the Crossplex. So you can join us and our partners, Freshwater Land Trust, and neighbors from across District 8 for a little morning exercise. All paces are welcome. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. Councilor Moore?
Yes, thank you, Madam Pro Tem. So, neighborhood association meetings, we have Kilo Springs that is taking place tonight at 6 p.m. at Smith Middle School. We have Northeast Lake taking place tonight at 6 p.m. at Southern Museum of Flight. Penfield Park will also have their meeting at 6 p.m. at Brownsville Heights Community Center. And yeah, that is it for tonight. Pine Nose Vista will be taking having their neighborhood association meeting tonight as well, on Thursday at the, wrong phone, hold up. They will be having theirs on Thursday at the East Pinson Valley Rec Center at 6 p.m. And so those will be all the neighborhood association meetings that are taking place. Just to kind of, give a heads up to those who are wondering, bulk trash and brush pickup will be in Kingston. It will be picked up on the 14th. Norwood will be the 16th, and there will be no collection from the city of Birmingham in observance of Juneteenth for the holiday. Also, for Juneteenth, there will be a celebration taking place in the Collegeville neighborhood called Bridging the Great Divide. So Monday, June 19th at 3 p.m., we will have different performances taking place by Logan the Entertainer, Natifa Dance Company, Mad Skills, Sherry Brown, and the Clutch Band. There would also be food trucks there as well, and it's free and open to the public. It will be in partnership with Empowerment, Microsoft, Connect 99, Woodlawn United, Open Broadband, Kellogg Foundation, and Bethel Baptist Church in Collegeville. And this is all in an effort to provide open broadband to neighborhoods in Collegeville, all the way between any neighborhood between Collegeville and Woodlawn. So that would include Collegeville, Inglenook, Harriman Park, and the Woodlawn neighborhood. And so I want to invite everybody to come out and to enjoy this great celebration. Also just kind of wanted to thank the Lighthouse Church Ministries for a great conversation on last night. Had an opportunity to go out to Kingston and talk to Pastor Holt and his congregation, along with several other community partners, about recent, public safety or gun violent crimes that have taken place. Very great conversation in terms of, us being able to, number one, just all get on the same page and determine what it is that we as a community want to be able to do moving forward. And so I would invite any and all folks who are connected to not only, the Morrell Todd Housing Authority, but any partners within Kingston, period, to please get in touch with Lighthouse Church Ministries so that we can also include you in the conversation as well. I know that there were some, recent events that took place in Inglenook also, and so I want to, be able to connect with churches in that area as well. I think a lot of times, I want to be able to connect with churches in that area as well, to be able to organize and really think about and strategize about what it is that we as a community can do to service the residents in these areas. So that concludes my announcements, Madam Pro Tem, and pass it to you.
Thank you, Councilor Moore. Councilor Abbott?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. The next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, June 14th. We have one case in District 5. And I also want, since it's June 14th, it's my son's birthday, so I want to wish him a happy birthday. And just like me, I just am always happy when people just have another birthday. So, neighborhood association meetings tonight. We have East Avondale neighborhood. They meet via conference call. And the Highland Park Neighborhood Association meets at the very same time. And they have a hybrid meeting, so you can either drive over there or you can watch Zoom and participate. I know that I sound like a broken record, but I'm very high on 311, and I'm even higher on the My BHAM 311 app. If you don't have it on your phone, you need to put it on your phone, because it is a great way to send photographs of the things that you see in your community that need fixing. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. If somebody's been sent out to find your issue, if you send them a picture of it, the chances are they're going to find it. And if not, you know, maybe your description wasn't too good. So I encourage everyone to put that app on their phone, and it doesn't matter whether you have an Android or an iPhone, the app will go on any phone you've got. So, and that is it for my announcements. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Abbott. Councilor Quinn.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. The East Avondale Neighborhood Association will meet tonight via conference call. Please call our office at 254-2679 for the call-in information if you're interested. North Avondale Neighborhood Association will meet Thursday, June 15th at 6 p.m. at the MLK Recreation Center, located at 529 43rd Street North. Southside Neighborhood Association will meet Thursday, June 15th at 6 p.m. at the South Precinct, located at 1320 19th Street South. Creed, please join Creed 63 as they celebrate their second anniversary with a street market showcasing local vendors, food trucks, music, and more this Saturday, June 17th, noon to 5 p.m. at 1601 Fifth Avenue North. For those that may not know, Creed 63 is a local business incubator located in the Civil Rights District. Again, they are having their second anniversary celebration this Saturday, noon to 5 p.m. at 1601 Fifth Avenue North. Also, the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute will celebrate Juneteenth on Saturday, June 17th from 10 to 4 p.m. It's a free event, but registration is required in advance or the day of the event. Please visit www.bcri.org to register in advance. And then finally, Steel City Jazz Fest is this weekend. There will be 2 days of concerts in Lynn Park that you can find ticketing information for on their website. But will point out that there's a free event at Lit in Smithfield. So if you for whatever reason can't get tickets for the Saturday or Sunday concerts, please check out the information about the free event Friday evening. And that concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. Councilor Moore, I think you said you forgot 2 announcements.
Yes, I'm sorry. So forgot 2 things. Just wanted to talk about Vocabi Camp or Vocabi World. It's a free community vocabulary program that takes kids on the adventures of learning new vocabulary words. And so every third Saturday of each month at 10:30 a.m. at Woodlawn United Methodist Church, 139 54th Street North, students can be brought there to learn more vocabulary words. So for more information and the free adventures of Vocabi book, email artplay@uab.edu. And I'll just stop there. Thank you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Councilor Williams.
Thank you. Wanted to give a shout out and special thank you to Director Eddings Bennett of Park and Rec, and really everybody that helped out with the fishing rodeo this year. Parks and Rec did an awesome job, like they always do, and so did Public Works. The Eastlake Park looked absolutely immaculate, and so to the chiefs and the mayor, thank you for having your team do a phenomenal job of the fishing rodeo this weekend. They really seriously did. I think this was one of the best ones that we've had. So, and Public Works and Parks and Rec also really enjoyed themselves out there. So I think that everyone that actually worked out there all week actually showed up to it and had a good time. So that was good to see. So thank you for everybody that participated in that. Brown Springs neighborhood will have a conference call this Thursday, June the 15th at 6 o'clock. And the next economic development meeting will be June the 20th. Please have your submissions to India Bailey by Thursday, June the 15th. Her email is india.bailey@birminghamal.gov. Thanks.
Thank you, Council Williams. Council Tate.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. These are the announcements for District 9. Sandusky Neighborhood Community Meeting will be held on tonight at 6 p.m. at the Jimmy Hudson Recreation Center located at 237 Pratt Highway. You can also dial in, so the call-in information is 319-527-9642. North Pratt Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. at the New Haven Apartments Rent Office. And it's located at 13 Avenue W, Birmingham, Alabama 35214. Inslee Neighborhood Meeting will be held on Thursday, June the 15th at 6 p.m. at the Inslee Recreation Center at 2800 Avenue K, Birmingham, Alabama 35218. Also want to give a special thank you to Ms. Brenda Brown, Bosom Buddies, on her event on Saturday. Good to have Pro Tem there and Council Woods present. It was a very nice event. And so shout out to Ms. Brenda for hosting a great event. Happy Juneteenth. The next public safety meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 27th at 1 p.m. in Conference D&E. Please submit agenda items via email by Wednesday, June the 21st, no later than 12 noon to Patrice Collins, and that's patrice.collins@birminghamal.gov. Also, Madam Pro Tem, let me mention that the Salvation Army Center of Hope is offering a medical terminology training, and that's June the 27th and 28th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. They're located at 2015 26th Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama 35234. So for more information, you can call the Education and Workforce Development Center at 205-328-2420. And then also, Madam President, let me mention this, that we want to send our condolences to Director Bennett with Parkville, who lost her father.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Tate. Councilor Woods.
Thank you, Madam President. Pillow Springs Neighborhood Association will meet tonight at 6 p.m. at Smith Middle School. Archwell Health will host Donuts with Dad on Friday, June 16th at 10 a.m. The 9th annual Man Up Breakfast, 9th annual Man Up Breakfast will be happening this Saturday, June 17th at the Birmingham Crossplex. Breakfast starts at 8:30. We're going to have a panel discussion, some awards, and some other exciting things beginning at 9, but just a great opportunity to recognize men making an impact in the community, as well as fathers. And so everyone's welcome, men and women, welcome to come out and have a good time and celebrate at the Man Up Breakfast. Also excited to kind of kick off the Unum Fellowship this week, so getting that process started. I want to shout out President Alexander. She had been through this process before, so I was able to kind of pick her brain on some what to expect and the ins and outs of everything. So excited to kick that off, and I'll kick it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Did you say the time and location for the Man Up Breakfast?
Yes, the 9th or 10th annual Man Up Breakfast is going to be at the Birmingham Crossplex, 8:30 a.m. this Saturday.
Thank you. Councilor Clark, you have one more announcement?
Actually, Councilor Tate did it. It was just expressing sympathy to the family of Parks Director Shanae Adams Bennett on the loss of her father.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I know there are funeral arrangements that are there too.
Yeah, so I'll just send the funeral arrangements to everyone up here if you're interested.
Thank you, Councilor. And Councilor Woods, I look forward to waking up very early to go to the Man Up Breakfast. As far as neighborhood meetings for District 6, South Titusville will be meeting tonight at 5:30 p.m. at Holy Family Cristo Rey in the library. We have our second neighborhood meeting tonight. Arlington West End will meet
meeting tonight at 6 p.m. in the West End Library. And then next Tuesday at 6 p.m., 5 Point South Neighborhood Association will be meeting. Titusville Library will be hosting a Father's Day brunch tomorrow from 11 to noon. We have several Juneteenth events in districts, well, just two. Cahaba Medical Care will be hosting its Juneteenth celebration on Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. at the West End location. The Crescent Cultural Community Center is hosting its Juneteenth event from 2 to 6 p.m., and then they have a concert right afterwards as well. So we have those events going on. And then we had a very successful farmers market this past Saturday. It was great. I really enjoyed myself this time, and Cody came by and was grocery shopping, so we had a good time. And also we had a good health forum this past Thursday, and it was on men's health, and I learned a lot about that as well. So as far as District 7 for President Alexander's announcements, tonight East Brownville will meet via conference call at 5:30 p.m. The Raleigh neighborhood will meet in Noble Chapel CME at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, bulk trash, brush, and pickup is scheduled for Raleigh. On Thursday, Hillman neighborhood will meet at Hopewell Baptist Church at 6 p.m. Hillman Park will meet at Hopewell Baptist Church at 6 p.m. on Thursday. And Germania Park will meet on Thursday via conference call at 6 p.m. On Thursday, bulk trash and brush pickup is scheduled for Green Acres. And then on Friday, bulk trash and brush pickup is scheduled for West Goldwire and Gardens Highlands. Please dial 311 to report a missed trash brush pickup, or the D7 hotline 205-304-1797 to report illegal dumping. Madam President wants to wish everybody a happy Juneteenth. And next Tuesday at 2 p.m. in conference rooms D and E, there will be a Utilities Committee meeting. And then next Wednesday, June 21st, councilors will have Committee of the Whole meeting at 3:30 p.m. in conference rooms D and E. And then next Saturday, June 24th, D7 will have their community cleanup at West Brownville Park at 10 a.m. Voter registration and supply pickup at 9:45 a.m. Or visit 987kiss.com to sign up today. And also, she is partnering with Empowered Citizens of Birmingham, KBB, and Birmingham Park and Rec. And also, I think we have a speaker here for the Rosary Prayer Service. Is he here? Okay, we'll have you come up with the speakers as well to talk about your event this Saturday. And also, I would like to wish Councilor Woods, Councilor Quinn, we'll say you, Councilor Williams, because you have a fur baby, and soon-to-be father, Chief Mitchell, Mr. Moore, and soon-to-be father, Mayor Woodfin, a happy Father's Day, and my own father as well. So now, so, I mean, he's going to be, Father Woodfin, Councilors, we have our speakers list that is up, so if there are any objections, Mr. Clerk, can you call up the first speaker?
Thomasine Jackson.
I forgot Councilor Moore, too. Yeah, you got it. Poor little
Listen,
baby
I wasn't going to say nothing, but it's all good.
We can't forget about you.
Well, and another one on the way.
And another one on the way. 4 for 4, so.
Good morning to Madam Council President in her absence, Alexander, to our pro tem, Ms. Smitherman, to members of the council, and to Mayor Woodfin. I am Thomasine Jackson, and I reside at number 25 16th Avenue West in the East Thomas neighborhood in the historical Smithfield community. I am here today to speak to you with my group here. As you see, there's a lot of people here, and we are the Social Action Group for the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And I'm here to speak to you about an event that we're having on Saturday, which is Stand Up Against Gun Violence. This event will include a panel discussion with our district counselor and my cousin, LaToya Tate, and Chief Thurman, and other community members at 11 o'clock. We also are going to have a family-friendly entertainment and activities, including live music, vendors, food trucks, and blood drive, and a voter registration. But our featured event is going to be the HBCU Basketball Association game with, excuse me, an exhibition game with the featured Magic City Surge and the Alabama Stars, which will be featuring former HBCU players from the Southeast. As you see, we have here Alex and Andrew. They are former players of Mississippi Valley. And if you notice, one is 6'2" and one is 7'2". So we hope that you all come out to this event. To quote Jennifer Risen, who says, gun violence feels too big, too powerful to stop, but it's not too big for us to take some real meaningful action. The control we decide you can live with and what you can't. You can choose whether you do something or we do nothing. So it's time for us to stand up and do something. So we invite all of you out, and we also want to challenge Counselor Woods and Counselor Moore to come out and do a one-on-one with our 7'2" basketball player.
I can't wait to see
And
that.
the basketball game starts at 2 p.m., and I apologize for my voice sounding so bad. I have bronchitis. So thank you again for letting us speak to you on the gun violence event. And I'm sorry that we didn't make a lot of flyers of it, but I do have flyers for you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Where's the location of
The location is 1500 Daniel Payne Drive. It's going to be at the Daniel Payne Community Plaza. And we start at 9 a.m. with a color run. Then at 9:30, we're going to have a memorial for victims and for the Emmanuel 9 that got killed in South Carolina. Then at 10, we start with all the festival events. And at 11 a.m. is when the gun violence panel is going to meet. Then at 2 p.m. is the basketball game.
Okay, I think Mayor Whiffen was saying quietly he wanted to participate too in the one-on-one.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, next speaker.
John Meehan.
First of all, good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
I'm John Meehan, and first of all, to Council President Pro Tem Smitherman, Mayor Wolfen, I'm John Meehan. I reside at 3404 Avenue H in Birmingham, fixing to move soon to another location in the same neighborhood, and take on a new wife. And so, first of all, I am here. I'm with the Passionist Community of Holy Family in St. Mary's with the Office of Justice and Advocacy. We are going to be sponsoring a rosary prayer service, which we know it's on the same day, which is great, that the group that you just heard. We're going to have our event this coming Saturday, a rosary prayer service at Holy Family Catholic Church at 10:30 a.m. We're going to have two speakers, and one of the speakers right here, this young man right here, his name is Dion Arnold. He is a student at Holy Family Crystal Ray High School. He has started a group called Solutions to talk about conflicts to end gun violence. He's going to be one of our speakers. A young man, only 17 years old. He's going to speak to us at our group, and also we're also going to have Chaplain Dorothy Childress. She is a noted evangelist and with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. This is not the first time. We've been all over the city to host this. And also, I just wanted to let you know, Councilwoman Clark and Councilwoman Tate, I did call your offices way ahead of time to let y'all know about the event that's coming up, because I know, Councilwoman Clark, that Holy Family is in your district, and Councilwoman Tate, you're right next door to us, so we want you to come. And I have some flyers here I'd like to pass out, because let me just say this. Gun violence has no religious affiliation. It hasn't. When anytime anybody gets killed, it's the churches that has to step in. It's the priest. It's the ministers that have to console the family. They're the ones who have to be out here. And I just want to announce this to hope y'all can come, because we've been doing this for a long time. We've been having 100 days of rosaries. Last year, 100 days to end gun violence. And we're going to continue to do this. This is something that is a mission for me. I'm involved with the environmental community as well as trying to work to end gun violence. This is something that our group is doing, and we are a group that's trying to do something. And let me just say this at the end. St. Mary's is celebrating its 80th anniversary, and Holy Family is celebrating its 85th anniversary of being in the community. We have been there for a long time, and you're going to be hearing more about it. We're going to have a double banquet, a joint banquet in September, which you'll be hearing more about. So we just want to invite you to come, because we got to do something about gun violence, and we got to do it through prayer. We got to do it through answer. And our event is open up to anyone. You don't have to be Catholic to be here, because, like I said, gun violence has no religious affiliation. Any questions?
No, I don't think we have any, so thank you for that information.
And Councilwoman Smitherman, we may be in your district next, because I believe that Our Lady of Fatima, which we might be coming in the future, I believe that's in your district.
Yes, sir.
So we may be coming to in your area next.
Okay.
So we're moving around. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you there. Mr. Clerk?
Tanya Lifoma.
Hi, I'm Tanya Mayor. Thanks you all so much for taking time out. Thank you, Mayor. Please make a time out. Ms. Latonya, thank you so much. Thank everyone. I'm having a serious issue. I mean, my heart, and I sit here and listen to, we talk about gun violence. I'm in the Kingston area. I'm right in the middle of it. I had an incident on May the 29th when the 90 rounds came on my daughter's birthday. When my daughter told me, Mom, I'm scared that I'm going to get hit by bullets, whatever, it's sad. It's a disgrace. That's why I'm bucking at the housing authority. Because we as a community have to stick together and pray together. We have to take back our community, because they're coming from everywhere else. And it's enough is enough now. We got a generation, young kids, it's got to come, and we got to protect them. If Martin King did it, why we can't do it? The police do their best. I see them out there. But guess what? They get in their uniforms, and we have to remember that they out there going into this crossfire, not knowing they're going to go home to their family. So we got to be considerate and stop being quiet, stop turning the other cheek. We got to be able to sit up here, stop this snitching kitchen, whatever they call it. We got to tell, because it's sad that most of these crimes, they already know that it's going to happen and won't say nothing and being quiet. I need y'all to stand behind me, because I'm going out there. I'm going to be in their faces every day if it takes, so my baby can and my children can be at peace. We shouldn't be scared to sit on our porch. And my children should be scared not to go outside and play. It's a disgrace. And I need y'all's support to be able to buckle down on these people that's trying to take over our community and get on top of these people that's in the community. And through the violation, we need curfew. These young people that's out here, 16 years old and younger, they need to be in the house somewhere. These folks that's sitting out there in the streets making all that loud noise, these folks want to go to sleep at night, 11 and 10 o'clock at night. It needs to be a time out. People need to be in the bed, sleep somewhere. I'm fed up with it. I need y'all to tell me what I need to do. And you all be on my side and be with the police. I'm standing with the police.
And every time something go down, I'm calling the police because I'm tired. These police officers is tired. They wore out. We need police stations inside these projects. We need police sitting up here. We need the paramedics. They do their job. The firemen do their job. They're overwhelmed. So I need y'all support to break it down. Let them know that y'all out there, y'all willing to clean it up. I'm willing to stand by y'all. Whatever the police need me to do, I'm willing. I'm right there on Richard Erickson. It wakes me up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning with this gun violence shooting. My 10-year-old running from her room to my room. We laying on the floor and stuff because we tired. We don't know what to do. A bully ain't got no address, and these folks ain't trained. They getting to look the regular guns and the trigger thing, whatever to make it go fast, switch the things, and it's ridiculous. And these people selling it. It needs to be stopped. Coming into our community, coming into this Birmingham system, it's a wonderful state. I'm from Mississippi, but I enjoy it, and I'm not going to run no more. Time out with the running. It's time to stand on the ground that we pay our bills and stay. I struggle, but guess what? Everybody else that's not willing to, everybody has rules. We have to force it. It's time to force it out, not forcing these rules. If we got to have license to drive and insurance, the lights, it's red, it needs to stop. Yellow, slow down. Green to go. I'm on fire now. When I leave here, I'm going back. I'm going to hit every place I know that need to talk to make this stop. Because it's everywhere. We need to have a mandatory curfew for these children. And these parents that don't want to, they let these children do what they want to do, fine them. Put them in jail. That's what they need, is to show them that y'all mean business.
Ms. Saya, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to be rude to interrupt you, but if you could just, speed up, conclude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
but
you're fine.
I just need to know, tell me what I need to do for my community, because Mr. Moore doing here, Mr. Tay, when I came in here, I was in tears and hurt. And when I was able to talk to the mayor, he kind of released a little bit. And I appreciate that, because I'm screaming for help. I'm pressing for help. My hands are tied. Tell me what type of ideas. Because we need to do something. A lot of talk, we need action.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to let Councilor Tate talk. She's our chair of public safety, and she's very big about healing and restorative justice. But we do actually have a curfew in place. Mayor Woodfin announced that, like a few months ago. But I don't know. We'll just talk to the mayor to see how we can better enforce it.
Because
But I
last
agree.
night, 16 years old, at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, getting shot.
Yes, ma'am.
We losing our children.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And they get younger and younger.
I agree. Yeah. And I do think it works, because I always joke, but I'm serious. I was the group of teenagers where they actually started the curfew because the murders were so bad. So I do believe it works. So I'm right there with you, but I'm going to let Councilor Tate talk.
Thank you, Matt Pro Tem. I had a conversation with Ms. Fulmer when she came down, and I want to thank my colleague for meeting with Pastor Holt and Cecily Holt and Veronica R. Johnson and yourself, and had that meeting on last night. So, gun violence is up all across the nation. It's just not in Alabama. Turn the TV on, something happened. I want to say Detroit, where it was a mass shooting after a game. It's just up all around the country. But what I continue to say, and what I will continue to say, is this is a collective effort. Everybody. It's going to take community. It's going to take clergy. It's going to take all partners to come to the table. And I say this all the time, and I have to echo the mayor's team, Brandon Johnson, Uche Bean, their social justice team. They worked very hard in the mayor's first term with a lot of initiatives that they were working behind the scenes. So we were able to get those initiatives flowing. on the ground, the Aspen Institute with the credible messenger training that is going to be, coming down the pipeline, getting those that are credible, going back into these communities, because that's who the people are going to listen to. They're going to listen to people that are credible, that have street critics, and to go into these streets. But I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you are saying. It is enough. It is out of control. And parents got to be parents. Wake up this morning, look at the news, teenager shot. What are you doing out at 4 a.m. in the morning? So I wholeheartedly agree with you. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to stay in contact with Councilor Moore. Continue to do your part. Most of all, stay safe. Right. Don't go confront these people. Just continue to, work behind the scene and do what you're doing. But it is some things coming, down the pipeline. I am going to be moving in the community, engaging the community, talking about how do we reimagine what community safety looks like. But I do know that the police cannot do this by themselves. Right. It is going to take everybody to do their part. Safety is how we imagine what safety is. We have to learn the role of what the police job is really to do. And so when we have gun violence that interrupts into communities, the impact is still there. So nobody is sending the healers or the therapists or the counselors into the community to talk to those like yourself who was impacted by what you went through on May the 29th and your daughter trying to enjoy her birthday. But I can assure you that I am working very closely with the mayor, his team, and then, we want to give it up to the mayor for giving our partners, Offender Alumni Association, a building on Tuscaloosa Avenue to be planted dead into the community so they can get those resources out to the community. But it's going to take everybody. We didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to get out of this overnight. But the collective effort has to start. And so I want to thank you for, being, very loud about how you feel and getting you the resources that you need, because you witness, an impact, and you're being impacted by what went on in, the area that you live in. So nobody has to be subjected to, not being safe, but we all have to play our part. So I can assure you that I'll keep talking to you and partnering with you and those around the Birmingham area to get this done. But work with us and bear with us, because we're not going to get out of this overnight.
I got you. And then also, yesterday I talked to most of the people that's inside Kingston that lives there, and I touched base. I got their numbers and stuff, and what they was looking for and what they want. And I feel like if they have the housing authority, have IDs for people that's in the residence, so they have they know who's there, who's supposed to be there, and the least that people visit. And if the problems come into your friends there, they should be held accountable for it, as well as the people you invite into their house. We have to learn how to be like, okay, they need playgrounds. There's too many children over there to not have a playground. And there's the center that's over there. They asked for them to have a center for the senior citizen, they said something about bingo, that they can play cards and stuff there, so they can have somewhere to go and entertain and be able to communicate and know each other. People that stay right near, they don't even know each other. Why? I don't understand. But we have to learn our neighbors and learn to be able to communicate with them. We need love, understanding, communication, and be happy, not miserable and afraid and don't understand why this happened or whatever. We understand we got to work together as a team.
That's right. I agree. And I can assure you that the mayor, has put some measures in place for that Kingston area. And again, we're going to keep working with you. I'm going to keep beating the streets with the mayor and his team and all our partners that are out here.
Amen.
But we're going to get there. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wait 1 second. I think Councilman Moore wanted to say something.
Yeah, so, Ms. Tanya, I got a chance to come out there last night and talk to you as well as, all the other folks that attended the meeting. And, we were able to, everybody knows the scripture, train up a child in the way that they should go.
That's right.
So that when they grow older, they will not depart from it. And I started it, and everybody, finished it, because that is very familiar to us. We live in the Bible Belt. Everybody knows that. But when we think about the flip side of that scripture, right? If there is no one to train up that child, then they just learn what they experience, right? And so we talked about the fact that, the greatest investment that we can make is investing in relationships. Really being able to expose not only our young people, but even, some of the parents and the adults to folks that, truly, truly do care, and can show them a different way, can show them and expose them to a different way of thinking, a different way of living, and, really make it real to them, I want to thank, LaTanya Tate, for the things that she's doing. But I also want to, again, just encourage, our churches to really invest in building relationships with not only just the community, and we say the word community, and a lot of times we think about the people who live there, but sometimes there are churches on every block, right? And even these churches are not communicating with one another. They're not connecting and collaborating. You got 4 churches on one block, and there's probably like 5 or 6 people, that go to each one of them. And it's a real thing. Right. And there's no reason why there should not be some type of collaboration taking place. I applaud the Lighthouse, church ministries for what they, have started, but I'm not looking for the Lighthouse. I'm not looking for, all of these individual names. I'm looking for the church. That's right. The church. On Sunday, that's the most divided day of the week, right?
Right.
But I'm looking for the church to come together. And so, not even just in Kingston, but throughout our city, right? Throughout our city, we need to be able to have all of these clergymen, pastors, whoever, to come together, putting denominations aside, putting, all of these things to the side, and just saying, hey, we're going to work together, not because, we want the credit, because we want a name, but because we know that this is what we've been called to do, right?
That's right.
And so I just, again, applaud you for, sounding the alarm, and, whatever each of the 9 counselors up here can do to help not just Kingston, but this city. I believe that we're all going to work together to do just that. And so, yeah.
I appreciate it. 'Cause I'm here in the city too with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Tanya, I want you to know this is a priority for really all 9 councilors and Mayor Woodfin. We had 5 top priorities for the budget, and public safety was one of those. And we have money in the budget for public safety, not including the police, but reentry programs, youth programs, safe haven programs. So just keep updated, keep in contact with Councilors Moore and Tate, and I pray that things get better.
I thank y'all so much. And my baby one, well, this is her. She's 10, all A student, right here.
Oh, sweet girl.
And she ended up getting 5 awards. But she's the type of 10 years old that loves to pray with anybody. She don't care who it is. And she like going to the school. We pray before we leave home. And when she get to school, she does the same thing. She pray for everybody. And I feel like we need the Bible back into schools, to me, my opinion. Because we take Jesus with us everywhere we go.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
So, y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
And happy Father's Day to everybody.
Mr. Clerk, next speaker.
June White.
Also, I forgot about Jeff. Happy Father's Day, Jeff.
Good afternoon. It's almost afternoon, but anyway, I'm on here bring you greetings from I am just so filled because before Sunday morning at 1:30, It was next door to me, this Airbnb, which Miss Abbott, we have spoken to you about the Airbnb. In our neighborhood, we want to know, is there a law being placed about these Airbnbs in our neighborhoods? I think it's our responsibility that this young man died, for the simple reason it's not the people that rented the place, it's not the people that were there. It's our responsibility, it's you all's responsibility, because the laws has not been placed on these Airbnbs. This young man, when the noise started, I got out of my bed and I reached for the telephone and called 911, and the lady was asking me who was what. I said, it's a group of children. I said, they're having a party. I said, just send somebody. I said, because they're fighting. Before I could give her the address, I looked out to my window, and the young man was being shot. I saw this myself. This is something, I am a professional nurse, been for 40 years, and I've seen death in all kind of places and things. But this was very, very, to see this young man, and 2 or 3 days before, my son had talked to these two young men about this party. And I think that, if there's going to be some laws placed on these places of this Airbnb, it's our responsibility that this young man shouldn't have been killed, to have these parties. As far as people having businesses or Airbnb, I can understand that. But to have where there are special events or parties or things like that, I don't think that it should be done in these houses. So I'm just asking, we're asking please to do something. We don't know whether or not you can remove this house, but I think there's some law should be placed some kind of way on stipulations on what is to be done in these places. These places, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had the police security guys were staying there. We didn't have any problem. We haven't had any problems in this place. But last year, it was they had a party there, and they were so violent to the citizens of the streets and everything that in the neighborhood. And so we're just asking, please, as you all make laws. You can make laws for everything. Make laws or something about this. This was a senseless killing, and it shouldn't have happened. And no supervision. The boy said that his mother and father rented the place for him to have this party. And if you could have been on that street, I imagine it was over 100 and some children, but no supervision. And bullets just flying everywhere. The people the next door, they have 2 children. They have 2 little girls. And just fortunately, the father had taken the bunk beds down because the little girl didn't want to be asleep in the bunk bed. The bullets went right straight where the bunk bed was. My son's car was shattered, and also the gentleman across the street, his car was shot. But if you could have seen, it was like a war zone. So I'm just asking each one of you all to sit down and make a law. It can be done to stop this. I can't say about the violence or the drive-by shootings and everything, but something like this could have been avoided. So that's what I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Moore, did you want to say something?
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. So I do know that there is some conversations that are taking place right now about, changing the ordinance around our short-term rentals.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was going to say, and so it's definitely something that we are aware of and that we're actively working on. And so I don't know if there's some communication that could be given or updates from Mr. Mitchell about that, or Council Tate.
Yeah, Council Tate.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I have been in conversation with Attorney Bernard, who is actively working on an ordinance for the short-term rentals. But Ms. Lejeune, what I will tell you is this. Airbnb platform has a policy that the house cannot be a party house. And so when people are aware that this is going on in their community, you can call the Airbnb platform and report that these issues are happening at these homes. Because in order to rent a vacation home, it's a certain age requirement that you have to meet. Most beach houses, and I'm pretty sure the Airbnb platform is set up the same way, you have to be 25 years or older to rent a beach home. I recall an incident that happened in California that some parents had rented a house for some teens to have a party, and it erupted. And so Airbnb suspended those people off the platform, and it was this big, push to have Airbnb change a lot of rules on their platforms. So I've been in constant conversation with Attorney Bernard, who I talked to this morning, who is actively working on, an ordinance, and is going to be meeting, with the mayor and his team. And so she's assured me that once, all of the things are worked out, she will be coming, talking to us about the ordinance. But what I will tell you, and you mentioned that the house was rented to some people, and they were there, and they came, and they did what they were intended to do. They came there to stay and not to party. But what I want to tell people with these short-term rentals that are in your communities, if you have this type of activity that is going on in the community, report it to the platform. And as you did, like you said, you called the police. So I do want you to know that it is some, the ordinance is being worked on and prepared. So as soon as I learn and the council learn, and I get with Council Moore and keep him updated to let you know.
That's the main thing we want to know, if there's going to be audits on these kind of special event things going on in these places.
Yeah, and again, Airbnb's the platform is not rented out for people to come there and have parties. It is a total no-no, with the platform. That's just, you can't do that. And so what I've instructed, it's one in one of my districts, and what they're doing, they're reporting issues, to the Airbnb, because when we want to create laws or pass laws, we have to have things in place. Like you have to have, like if you're reporting issues, they're able to pull how many times that you reported an issue, and that gives what you're trying to do legs to support, what you're trying to do. But if we're not reporting it, and we have to have some legs to work with. And so when we report these things to the platform or whomever we need to be reporting to, that gives, that gives you legs to, to get more intensified in what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, when the lady first, when they first opened up, I personally spoke with her. She informed me that it was going to be a patriotic veterans place for veterans families when they come to the city, and they had to have a place to stay. And that was it. I said, well, okay. I said, because we have a very quiet neighborhood. Right. And so from then on, and then this is the second incident. The first incident, I called and spoke to her about it. I said about the parties. And she assured me there wouldn't be any more. And now this has happened. And so we're going to, as far as my community, we're going to probably file a class action suit against the lady. Okay.
Yeah, and just keep some, keep some notes. Just take notes of, if she rents it out, you have this type of activity. Just keep a running record of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
And
Thank
one
you.
second, Council O'Quinn wants to speak to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I would encourage you also to contact your state legislators because
We're working with Miss Mary Moore, our state representative.
Okay, because one of the issues is that the state of Alabama doesn't recognize any difference between a rental property and a short-term rental property. There is nothing in state code that refers to short-term rental. A rental is a rental is a rental as far as the code is concerned. And, one of the things that would help not only the city of Birmingham, but any municipality across the state and counties even, is for the state to create at least a definition for what a short-term rental is and put some measures in place at the state level.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I think that was our last speaker. Also, I forgot to announce our budget public hearing is next Tuesday, June 20th at 5:30 here in the Boutwell. Thank you to our sergeants and police on duty. I don't have your names, but we see you and we thank you. So if there's nothing else, is there a motion for adjournment?
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, everyone.